Hey everybody, and happy, what day is this? Shoot, I don't even know. Tuesday. I had to think about it for a second. Tis the season where I'm traveling a whole lot, and I am so grateful for an office day. I just got through doing a webinar, and which was so much fun. It was about the battle-tested steps to use in this crazy market. And these were solid negotiation, battle-tested tips and steps. And, you know, we got a little series going on where we are indeed talking about negotiating. And I wanted to bring one of those battle-tested steps that I talked about in the webinar to you today for our live lesson. By the way, welcome to my really chaotic, very dirty office and studio. You can see behind me where my camera, my lights, and all that stuff are. And because I've been traveling so much, I've been coming in and just plopping stuff down. And it's really bad. And I just looked at my calendar. I got 2.5 more weeks of full just going at it to travel. And then I'll get to take a deep breath and get some things organized and done, etc. All right, so let's talk about the battle-tested tip. And, you know, I was teaching a negotiating class last week in Charlotte, and I had a young woman in my class who kept asking me for tips and tricks, and she would say, well, do you have a tip or a trick to make people believe when you say blah, 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 blah? And it was really interesting because I found myself getting a little on the irritated side, and it wasn't at her as much as it was at me, because I think the biggest message about anything in real estate is that it is never, oop, you just heard a dog, oh, and you probably just saw a dog. It is, oh, y'all are getting a picture of dog butt over there. And she has a mighty fine one, I have to say. But the thing that you have to know about success in real estate is it is never one tip. It is never one tactic. Success is a lot of small tips and tactics. That is what success is. And so, you know, there's a really great quote, and that quote is, if you can't describe what you are doing as a process, then you don't know what you're doing. And this is the one I'd really like to concentrate on, the area I'd like to concentrate on. And y'all can hear my dog having a terrible backward sneeze. You see her right there, and she's having a little sneezing problem. And she's got her eyes closed. She's so darn cute. But here is the problem, is that, like I said, it's never one tip or trick. So when we talk about negotiating, I could give you lots of little things, but I'd rather really focus you on the whole structure. So I'm going to give you my very favorite battle-tested tip, and that would be to accomplish a smooth negotiating event requires structure. It requires that you know exactly what you're going to do. So a buyer says, I want to buy this house. You go, okay, I have a structure. I know that I have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Now, what is the benefit of having structure? Well, the first benefit is you're not guessing. You know, I keep hearing from agents about the emotions of all of this, and buyers being emotional and other agents being emotional, etc. And I keep hearing all of that. Well, one of the ways that you keep emotion down is by having that process, and by your client and the other agent seeing that you have a process, and it keeps everybody on an even keel. It's when you're kind of doing a shotgun approach that it becomes a problem. So I believe that the very first benefit to having a negotiation structure is no guessing. No guessing at what you're doing. The second one is that you're incredibly confident at your skills, because you know what you're going to be doing. And so you're very confident at those skills, and people pick up on that. Y'all know we're putting energy out all the time, and if you're confident with something, that if you look confident with something, then people will pick up on that. And of course, Yeah, of course, the counterpoint to that is you're going to feel confident. Having structure, you're going to feel confident. And then probably the last advantage to having a structure is to inspire trust. Inspire trust in the client has in you and the other agent has in you. You know, I'm talking so much about negotiating right now, and I'm hearing so much from agents about the other agents who are just, you know, outrageous. You know, they're just coming at it and they're being mean, or they're being dumb, or and that is a lack of process and very often a lack of knowledge. So what do I think you need to do? I think you need to sit down and say, okay, here is the process that I'm going to use when somebody says, I want to run an offer. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to do some of my research because I need to get a little more knowledge. Knowledge is power in a negotiation. You need to go and present that knowledge out to your buyer, who, by the way, you have to make sure you present it in an equal and even way so they stay even in their emotions. So don't do it too fast. Be very measured at how you give them information. And then, of course, you're going to have to go through that process of deciding what it is that you want to offer, or deciding what your strategy is going to be. You need to have a system for presenting the information to the other agent. And, you know, this is getting kind of a lost art, but in a crazy market, you presenting that information will elevate it. Will elevate you and elevate that offer to the listing agent. And then, of course, you have to be prepared for the counter offer, what's going to be happening, and get all the expectations established with the agent. And so all of those, I mean, you just really have to lay down, here's my steps and here are my processes. These are the things that I'm going to do. You know, it is a crazy market, and it is a much more competitive. And it is the time for you to learn how to become a better negotiator. It's time to up your game. That's what it's time to do. So, you know, none of us were ever taught really how to negotiate unless you have taken classes on it. You probably have never had anything. They don't teach us this in real estate school. Y'all know that. So make sure that you just really take it as a practice to start thinking about it, reading, watching webinars, those kind of things. By the way, the webinar that I did today about the battle-tested steps, and there's 5 of them, we are doing that one again next week, the exact same one. So if you missed it today, you can pick it up tomorrow. You can pick it up next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. As soon as I get off this webinar, I will go in and put the link down here in the comments. So you can sign up for that if you want. All right, that is my live lesson for the day. Think through your structure for negotiating so you're not doing the shotgun thing, you're doing the precision thing, and you have great confidence and control and can lead your buyer to the best outcome. All right, make sure to write comments, ask questions below. I'm always looking at this. I look at it many times during the day. I come out into the group, and I look forward to hearing from you on what you would love to know. Talk to you soon.